Dear viewer,
I'm in love with the sweetness of your vision.
sunlight travels about 93 million miles in 8 minutes to reach Earth. Once it's here, it reflects off of an object, every object really, losing color and clarity until it reaches your eyes. It shines through your cornea, reflects onto your retina, and sends a signal down your optic nerve to your brain, which then flips the image right side around. That is how you see. Sunflowers, when they're young and not yet jaded, contain growth hormones called auxins. These auxins are photosensitive, and they migrate towards the shadiest part of the plant, causing it to bend in the direction of sunlight. But the sun is not the only source of light. In fact, on a recent bike ride through the nature trail near my house, I saw a patch of sunflowers. This patch has recently been cut down, but regardless, each one leaned westward, gulping down the light of the falling day. One sunflower in particular, though, chose instead to follow the light reflecting off of its golden neighbor. Dear viewer,
Paint me a pretty picture, naked of me and you.
I was the shadow of the waxwing slain by the false azure in the window pane. I was the smudge of ash and fluff, and I lived on, flew on, in the reflected sky. The opening lines to Pale Fire, a narrative poem by Vladimir Nabokov, written in 1962. This poem, and its opening in particular, have driven me since I read them for the first time in the January of 2024. The book itself was quite impactful as well. Without spoiling it, the author of Pale Fire, the poem, has died, and his work is interpreted by a colleague, Mr. Kinboat, who sees far more of himself in the poem than is ever truly present. There's many interpretations of the novel as there are people who have read it, but I've always, shamefully, seen it as a metaphor for yearning. As Kinboat desperately searches the lines of Pale Fire for himself, his tales, his story, his life, I can't help but feel like Nabokov is directly mocking me.
Picture me in the kitchen.
Dear viewer, a few months ago, I curled up on the floor of an emptying apartment and listened to my new best friend repeatedly miss the notes of Gymnopédie No. 1. While you grew increasingly frustrated, I grew increasingly pleased. I knew then that it would be a highlight of my life. I tried my best to commit the moment to memory. I succeeded in part. The ceiling fan lulls me with its dull drone. Your cat finally gives me a break from her incessant nuzzling. I am thinking of how best to frame the picture I want to take. But I do not hear Gymnopédie No. 1. In my head I hear Mother Three's love theme, the last note of the first bar falling one semitone flat. I do not see a Casio keyboard. In my head I see a grand walnut piano, dwarfing the woman sat in front of it. I am not sitting in a barren room being prepared for its next occupants. In my head, I am lying in a cozy parlor, floating away on a faint haze of spring air and tobacco. Dear viewer,
Something's terrorized my psyche to get eaten. Lately, you're the only human
I have somewhat of an obsession with archetypal artists, particularly those ancient Greek ones. Apollo, who wrote a poem for every mortal he ever noticed. Orpheus, better known now for his failure than for his love. And Sappho, whose work was so legendary that I take no issue listing her here among God and myth. To me, the most compelling art is made in the effort to mirror the beating of one heart to that of another. Supposedly, in her time, Sappho was known as the 10th muse. I fear there are far too many artists and far too few muses now.
Spit on this planet without you. I envy you 'cause you can believe in things like I never could.
Dear viewer, the sun reaches across 93 million miles to beckon me and I face you. You are the magic in an increasingly dull world. All I can hope for is to reflect some of your light, to be the moon to my adopted son.